fine.
Okay.
The chair was awful.
It does feel awful.
They do it. These boards and commissions.
Oh, there they are.
It's close enough.
And then when we did the pledge, it's our flag. So
We know it's straight up.
share this.
It's 5 o'clock p.m. and I'd like to call the Tropico Town Council meeting to order and announce a quorum.
Hey.
Thank you. Great
Nice.
job. Well, good evening, everyone. And as she said, this is our Trophy Club Town Council meeting for February 14th, 2023. We do have a quorum with all council members present. And thank you, Monica DeSico. This is our mayor for a day this evening, so she is going to help preside over the meeting tonight. We will start with our invocation given by Parks and Recreation Director Tony Jaramillo. Please stand.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of meeting today. We ask that you bless us abundantly and give us the wisdom to lead with integrity. Please bless our citizens, elected officials, staff, and our first responders who diligently work for our safety and well-being. Father, bless the work that we have done and the unseen work that we will do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And please join us in the pledges for the American flag and the Texas flag, led by Mayor for a Day, Monica DeSico.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Honor
Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
It's time for announcements and reports.
Our first item tonight is a proclamation recognizing Ms. DeSico as our Mayor for a Day and Trophy Club. Proclamation of the Trophy Club Town Council proclaiming Monica DeSico Mayor for a Day and Trophy Club. Whereas Monica DeSico is a 5th grade student at Beck Elementary, and whereas being in elementary school typically means playing with friends, bike riding, pool parties, and spending quality family time, for Monica, this time is extra special as she continues in school choir, Bobcat cheer, and competitive cheer with Spirit Extreme. And whereas Monica has also managed to take on serving as Mayor for a Day and Trophy Club, not to mention maintaining homework assignments and achieving excellent grades while preparing for competition, excelling in daily chores, and always showing kindness. And whereas Monica has always maintained great relations with her family, friends, co-students, teachers, and is now expanding to local government by meeting with Mayor Fleury, the council, and key town officials and learning how local government works. And whereas Monica has aspirations for running for mayor of Trophy Club one day, and serving as mayor for a day is a great start to her future endeavor. Monica is a natural leader and would love to take Trophy Club to the next level by helping solve problems and improving the quality of life in Trophy Club. Now, therefore, I, Alicia L. Fleury, Mayor of the Town of Trophy Club, and in conjunction with the Town Council, do hereby proclaim February 14th, 2023, as Monica DeSico Mayor for a Day in Trophy Club. I'd like to make a motion to pass the proclamation as read.
Second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second by Councilman Monger. All in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously. Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna stand? Can we see you over the, I can barely see over the dais. Can you see over the dais? Should we come in front or can you get us? Okay. This is for you. And look, I have this big bag of goodies.
Next, we have Bedlam Middle School 6th graders gifted and talented exploration program to tell us about their little free library.
I'd like to welcome Ms. Tracy Gallagher, the Medlin teacher leading this project, and the Mustang group. Could you please come to the podium?
These are some of my 6th graders doing a service foraging project to benefit and help out our community. And they were like, tonight. I'm super proud of them for coming here and doing all this.
Did we have a presentation or slides?
Yes, we did.
Okay. There we go. Well, welcome.
Hi, today we're going to be presenting our little free library.
Hello, our names are Isha Raj,
Olivia Dewey, Ashton Hess, Nicholas Stowe, and Ara Shabastava.
and we are the 6th graders at Medlin Middle School, and we are the Mustang Gang.
We're here tonight because we had the opportunity to do a service learning project to benefit a community of some kind. We collected data and applied it to a decision-making matrix to help us decide on a way to better our community. A decision-making matrix is a table used to narrow down and measure the statistics of certain options in a decision.
We decided on a little free library. We hope that our library will create a new excitement about reading, provide a free resource so anyone who wants to read is able to read and enjoy it. And it'll be a symbol of what our great community represents, a place where everyone is welcome, neighbors gather, and all will feel at home.
We were able to collect the data to know what genres most kids and trophy clubs like so we can get those books and more kids for that. Here's a video on getting to know the little free libraries around the world.
Is there a video to play?
Yeah. We could just skip over it, I guess.
We'll have some tech support. Here it comes.
Yes.
I was unaware. Well, I don't think that link got transferred. This slide's just an image, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That slide's just an image.
Sorry. You can tell us.
I guess let's just explain it then. It was showing us like pictures and what the little free library would be like. It was showing us that what you would do is we supplied the first books, but then people will take books from there, but they have to also put a book back so that the books will keep on changing.
And
So that's what
It's like an organization around the world where lots of these small libraries, they go together to create a community where everyone is able to read and have any genres that they enjoy.
So next we're going to show you some pictures of the little free library and what we've done so far. So this was the first stage. We sanded the wood down and we created a box. We made a triangle so most of the water would go down the side and not get through to the books. And we also made a door frame that would keep the water from going through. We were hoping that we could place it on public property somewhere in between Medlin Middle School and Beck Elementary so that maintenance and access will be easy. We hope you will consider our project and hope you will get the approval to put a little free library on public property.
Fantastic. I really love this idea, and I know that several in our communities have been talking about this for quite some time, and we do have some residents that have placed some of these little free libraries in front of their homes, and they're super popular. And the premise is, I'm sorry your video link didn't work, but the premise is you bring a book and take a book. So it's kind of, self-serve, and it just replenishes itself. As you take one, you bring one, and it's just a really great idea. I like how it's between the schools, so a lot of kids will have access to it. I I know that certain HOAs are thinking about allowing it maybe by a pond, by a bench, so not just kids can read, but some of our older residents as well. But I love your innovation and your love for the community to find something that we all can enjoy. I think it's a great idea. What do you think, Mayor DeSico? Think that's a good idea? Okay. Any discussion on council? Mr. Flynn?
So I want to go back. Did you guys say you're in 6th grade? Really? Because you came up with a decision tree at 6th grade.
A matrix.
A matrix.
whole
I don't
matrix.
think I learned that till like college. That's awesome. Great job.
And how about that construction?
Whew.
Anyone else?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Gallagher. You've been a great teacher. I mean, my kids have known you coming up through our schools here, and thank you for all you do, and thank you for all our teachers and all that you do. And look at these students we're putting out with you guys in your leadership roles. I mean, what a great group of kids. And like Councilman Flynn said, wow, for 6th graders, that's pretty spectacular. But thank you for taking the time to come and speak with us, and we look forward to having your project progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, folks.
And Ms. Gallagher, come grab a picture with your kids. Yeah, just pretend. Just for a minute.
That's my line.
We're looking at. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you. Thank you. We should have added a business spotlight for Brian Stowe. I see he's one of the dads of the project, the Affordable Plumber and Trophy Club.
Next, we have a proclamation proclaiming February as Kindness Awareness Month in February.
So we did pass these proclamations at our retreat, but we wanted to present them during a normal council meeting. So we are going to have Mayor DeSico read this. You have your own copy? Okay.
A proclamation of Trophy Club Council supporting the month of February as Kindness Awareness Month in Trophy Club. Whereas today we are living in times unlike any other dealing with new challenge. And the lack of stability with our new nation has led to polarized population resulting in people fearful of the future. And whereas studies have shown that kind thoughts and actions create a better environment and happiness is found by practicing kindness. And whereas the town of Trophy Club recognizes the value of simple acts of kindness performed without prompting or reason, how these acts can positively impact the performer, the recipients, and onlookers of the good deed. And whereas providing random acts of kindness and reaching out to one another regardless of social or economic status, education, gender, origin, religious belief, age, lifestyle, or abilities. We extend our opportunity for grace, dignity, and acceptance that might not otherwise be offered. And whereas the Trophy Club Town Council recognizes the value of simple acts of kindness and requests that everyone participate in making our community stand out from all others by practicing kindness and recognizing that everyone has a journey and each journey is more pleasant when kindness is exhibited. And whereas to initiate a community-wide campaign for kindness, BIA activities and events promoting kindness, included town-sponsored fund run for kindness through a coordinated partnership between the town of Trophy Club, local schools, businesses, and organizations that is strategically designed to create a culture of kindness campaign. Through this campaign, our residents will be called to action to change our community and the world.
So this evening, we have asked Dan's Bagels to accept our kindness proclamation because his business is the epitome of kindness, not only exhibited to your customers, who you kind of have to be kind to, but also to his community and his employees. I don't know if I've ever seen a business who really stands up to bullies and does the right thing as much as this group does. And they have also stepped up to support this community through donations and support for pretty much every organization, nonprofit, school team that we have. I think the slogan on the door is "Be kind, it's just bagels." Hey guys, lighten up, right? Don't sweat the small stuff. And I see this day in and day out, and I think they are great role models for us to aspire to, and just to be kind. You know, it's free, doesn't cost a thing, and can just be a smile or just opening the door for someone. But these guys, you see it in their posts every day. They're all about kindness and being positive and really taking care of not just their employees, but their customers and also our community. So please join me to accept our kindness proclamation. Thank you.
So, should I speak this way? This way?
To the microphone is perfect.
All right. Mayor, council members, thank you very much for this. It was definitely a surprise. We really, really appreciate it. You know, we started this business out of our home right here in Trophy Club. During pandemic, food became the center of gravity for our family during that time. We're from the Northeast, so we missed our bagels. It started out as just for us to eat some bagels. And then it just grew from there because of the support of the community. And then we decided to open up a brick and mortar right in town. And, you know, it's just what Mayor Lish said. It's kindness is free. Being a small business is very hard, right? And I think when you walk into the shop, it's lighter. The vibe's kind of not heavy. And a lot of it has to do with our employees, who are kids and students and residents in this community. And we have the hardest working, you know, high school kids, really, I think, in the country. Bagel business is not an easy business. And we're really appreciative of that. So a lot of our success is because of them and the parents that raised them so well. And we have a lot of them from the beginning. We call them the OG. They're still there. And they're bringing their friends who will bring their friends. And we're just grateful to be part of that rallying cry. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mayor Pro Tem Lamar?
If you're planning a trip to New York City,
Jeez.
you can skip going to the local bagel shops. We got you right here in Trophy Club.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you again so much, and thanks for all you do for our community, and thank you for promoting kindness really every single day with every post you make. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have a proclamation from Next, Byron Nelson High School Student Council will give us an update on the C4K Fund.
Okay, we have Ms. Sarah Milhorn and members of the Byron Nelson High School Student Council. They're going to tell us about some of the kindness programs going on this month and also update us on our fund run.
Hello, my name is Kathy.
And I'm Morgan, and we are representing Byron Nelson Student Council. Byron Suco is proud to be partnering with the Town Oak Trophy Club for the Campaign for Kindness Fun Run. We will be using student volunteers for the event, and our council was given the opportunity to choose the beneficiary charity for the fun run. Our choice was Operation Shoebox.
Operation Shoebox embraces a practical mission of providing hands-on support for our troops deployed overseas and returning home. It is a mission of Operation Shoebox to meet the needs of every hero with dignity and appreciation. We can provide care packages, sending letters, organizing fundraisers, or collecting supplies for homeless veterans. Operation Shoebox is committed to treating every hero with care and honor.
Kindness Month is a well-loved tradition at Byron Nelson High School. We want to encourage our community to spread kindness every month, not just in February.
Love it. Thank you very much. For Operation Shoebox, will we have donation boxes at locations for people to donate? We will have some donation boxes. We'll have one at Town Hall. We'll have one at our fire department, Chief Wise, yeah. Maybe at Dan's Bagels, yeah, very good. We'll get you a list and we'll get some donation boxes. This is a great event every year. I think this is our 6th annual Campaign for Kindness, where we focus on local kindness and random acts of kindness, but also we choose a service project that can impact, outside of our bubble, even across the world. One year we sent shoes to Africa so kids could go to school. We did a little yellow mailbox one year, and this year we're going to be collecting for Operation Shoebox for our troops. So I think that's a great cause, and thank you so much. And thank you for the continued support of Byron Nelson Student Council for helping us out with our fun run, which is going to be February 25th. So I hope everybody can come join us for that. Hopefully the weather will hold out for us there. But yeah, we'll get with Tony and we'll make sure we get you some drop-off locations throughout town so we can support Operation Shoebox for you guys. Thank you so much.
Next, we have a proclamation proclaiming February as Black History Month in Trophy.
Okay, you want to read that one too?
The proclamation of Trophy Club Town Council supporting the month of February as Black History Month in Trophy. Whereas during Black History Month, we celebrate the many achievements and contributions made by African Americans to economic, cultural, spiritual, and political development. And whereas in 1915, Dr. Carter Godwin Woodson, noted Black scholar, and son of former slave, founded the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH. And whereas Dr. Woodson initiated Black History Week, February 12, 1926, and for many years, the second week of February had chosen to coincide with birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. And whereas in 1976, as part of the National Bicentennial Black History Week was expanded and become Black History Month. And whereas the ASALH has selected Black Resistance as the theme for 2023. Whereas Maya Angelou, celebrated writer, performer, and social activist, became the first Black woman featured on the 25-cent piece celebrating the accomplishments of American women. And whereas we urge all citizens to celebrate our diverse heritage and culture and continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, peaceful, and prosperous for all. And whereas the Town of Trophy Club is committed to kindness, diversity, equality, inclusion, and mutual respect as a fundamental idea for a healthy, thriving community.
Perfect. Thank you. This evening we have Ms. Melody Anderson here to accept our proclamation for Black History Month. She is also our co-president of Trophy Club Women's Club. Has jumped right in as soon as she moved here a few years ago to help out on our community volunteer at a lot of different organizations alongside her sister Chastity Murphy, who we all know and love. Hope you feel better, Chastity. She's under the weather today, but thank you for being here, and we will come down and present this to you.
Hello. I would just like to thank Mayor Fleury and Town Council for the recognition. We moved here about 4.5 years ago, and I will say that we couldn't have moved to a better town, a town that is always committed to diversity, inclusion, and kindness today and every day. So thank you so much, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Next, Communications and Marketing Director Jill Lynn will give us an update on the launch of the reskin at the town website.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and Mayor DeSico. Thank you for having me this evening. I'm excited to share with you our reskinned trophyclub.org website, which went live today. As a recap, our website launched in 1998 and has had 5 redesigns over that time. The last one was in January of 2019. When we did the 2019 redesign, we chose to work with Civic Plus, who holds the gold standard for municipal government websites. When they overhauled the entire website, in 19 they overhauled the website. This year, it's a redesign or a reskin, so it's just a new look, but functions the same. I wanted to highlight a couple things. Since launching in 2019, we've had 1.18 million sessions on the website and over 825,000 users. As part of that 2019 contract, we automatically received a refresh to the look after 4 years. Sorry. It's hard to believe that time's here. I personally thought the website looked great and didn't think it needed any help, but I was excited when I saw what they showed me. Our goals remain the same for the reskin: make it user-friendly, make it mobile responsive, have it meet ADA accessibility requirements and standards, and ensure it's intuitive and searchable. So without further ado, I'm going to click on it and show you a couple highlights. Pardon me. So this launched this morning. We're featuring, obviously, the update overall. The look and feel is a little bit different. They've included more pagination and animation throughout the page and helped emphasize some of the clickability on the site. We added another column for news, so instead of featuring 3 topics, it'll show 4 from now on, and also added some animation to it. And then we broke apart the calendar a little bit so that it's easier to kind of look at community events upcoming, city events, and then of course you can view all and go see the entire calendar. I wanted to show you a couple highlights. We also launched a employee spotlight page where we'll be featuring an employee each month. So right now we've got Ms. Tamara Smith on there, and if you click on it, it gives you a little description about her, or you can go and check out some of the other ones that we have previously posted. We also updated the online services information. Again, more imagery, more animation and movement, just to show its clickability, and it also translates really well on the mobile site or on your phones when you're looking. One other thing I want to show you is 2 other enhancements we have. One I can show you and one I will tell you about is the ADA Accessibility Compliancy plugin called Audio Eye. So if you scroll down on the page, and let's say you are colorblind or you need the font larger, you just click on that little icon and it'll change the contrast of the page. You can change the text size. Oh, good. So you can kind of go through and adjust your settings to be whatever you need them to be, which is great and kind of a fun tool. And then we also enhanced the backside of it with a Platinum security platform so that whenever we capture information on our forms or we take in requests, all that information is better protected security-wise. And then we have one enhancement that we are still working on, which will be launching this year sometime, which is the incorporation of CityBot, which is an AI-generated plugin to the site. So it'll be responsive. It'll automatically, if you ask it a question, it'll populate answers for you. And it also will work on the website, but it'll have a texting function as well. So we're really excited about that. So we've got all 336 pages transferred over. The website's up and functioning. But I do ask you to bear with me the next couple days. I'm sure we're going to find some glitches and some bugs along the way. But I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate staff and all their time that the directors and our website committee put into reviewing the pages and the looks and the feel and providing feedback. So I really appreciate it. That's it.
Looks great. Thank you so much. I just pulled it up on my phone. Very user-friendly and intuitive. May want to change city to town meetings. No. But that's it. That's the only thing. I know these websites are a huge, huge bear to work with. You've got all the front end and the user interface and then the back end and all the code and all of those things. It's not easy. It's just not as simple as going in and changing a little bit of content here and there. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's a round-the-clock job. So I'm glad you have some help with Betsy now to help you with some of this stuff. It looks great, and I can't wait to see the rest of it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else to comment on the website? Thank you so much. Great job, Jill. We appreciate it.
Next, we have public comment.
Okay, this is an opportunity for citizens to address the council on any matter. The council is not permitted to discuss or take action on any presentations made. Presentations are limited to matters over which the council has authority. Speakers have up to 4 minutes with a time limit determined by the presiding officer. Each speaker must have submitted their request to speak by completing the speaker's form, or they may email mayorandcouncil@trophyclub.org. Also, as a reminder, on the back of your forms there are a couple notes here. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a body and not to any member thereof. No person other than town staff, members of the council, and the person having the floor shall be permitted to enter into any discussion, either directly or through the members of the council. Citizens attending the council meetings shall observe the same rules of priority, decorum, and good conduct applicable to the administrative staff. Any persons making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, or who become boisterous while addressing the town council or while attending the council meeting shall be removed from the room. I do have 2 speakers lined up this evening. The first being Jennifer Olson. Please come to the podium and state your name and address.
Jennifer Olson, 340 Inverness Drive. The information I'll be sharing are of public concern and are protected under my First Amendment right to free speech. In the fall of 2021, I was originally concerned about the lack of transparency in one of our special districts receiving a surplus of $350,000 a year to our police department. As my quest for public information continued, I grew deeply concerned about the town's misuse of taxpayer money and the weaponization of our police department against residents who ask questions. This all began because I wanted transparency for all of us. The police department handles many of the town's open records requests. What I found was the police department intentionally delayed or denied having records I requested. After filing numerous complaints with the Attorney General's office, the town hired an outside law firm to defend their actions in the tune of over $60,000. The town still had to provide the information I requested $60,000 later. This was a sharp practice to delay the release of public information and a waste of our taxpayer dollars. Those who did not like me asking questions about transparency continued to abuse their power by directing our police department against me. And by those, I'm referring to our mayor, Councilman Greg Lamont.
Point of order. Did you, when I read the instructions, they're also on the back of your sign-in sheet. You may address us as a whole, not as individuals.
Okay. One person instigated a bogus investigation and alleged I committed a theft of $10 political sign. She did not do this on her own. Several Trophy Club friends that I will refer to her as her surrogates participated in the charade. In our police department, wow, for the last 9 months there were 13 of 20 police officers investigating and building a fraudulent case against me. The Maine police in charge escalated the case by calling the Texas Rangers requesting an investigation. The 3 people I've mentioned were correct that there was a theft of a $10 sign, and the person caught on video picking it up and putting in their car, well, it was someone that's in front of me. And their wife is here too. That was with them. Other thefts of signs have been recorded on video in which I informed the police, but they failed to act. I believe the police chief did not want his officers to respond to the reported thefts. Our police department only focused on targeting me and willfully ignoring exculpatory evidence proving my innocence. My questions about budgets, emails, public recordings have taken me down a path of dishonesty, intimidation, stonewalling, and corruption. I asked for information that should exist. Our town spends so much money on the latest and greatest technology, you wouldn't believe how many technical failures have occurred in my quest to defend myself. A few examples in my case. The fire department surveillance didn't work for 6 months due to an equipment failure, and no one knew about it until I asked for videos. The mud department's video was operational, but the police department met with the vendor the day before the footage was released, and many important sections of the video was missing. The police violated civil and criminal laws by refusing to turn over video footage between me and a captain when I made a police report that the department failed to investigate. I filed a motion with the Roanoke municipal judge asking permission for a private court reporter to record my court hearings. The judge denied this request because he wanted to rely on the court's audio hearing instead. One of the people in front of me hired town attorney David Dodd to quash his subpoena as a witness in my case, and that hearing lasted an hour and a half. This person committed perjury on the stand when asked if he was present when the theft occurred. He lied and said no. I have video evidence proving that he was there and put the sign in his car. Our town attorney and I just witnessed this person perjure himself, which is a Class A misdemeanor. I requested the transcript from this hearing from the judge, and guess what? The court's audio equipment for this hearing
Ms.
failed
Olson,
too.
I'm afraid your 4 minutes are up.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's no court record for that hearing. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker, we have Ms. Bambi McCormick. Please approach the podium and state your name and address.
Hi, Bambi McCormick, 2818 Chatswood Drive. I'm here in rebuttal to Mrs. Olson's false claims. My husband has just served her with a cease and desist letter to never mention my name in public again in regard to this matter. Contrary to previous statements, the only people involved in this issue were Ms. Olson, myself, and a property owner located near the mud. Stating otherwise is simply a distraction. I'll give a brief summary. On April 29, 2022, a property owner contacted me about a political sign that had been placed in her yard without their permission. That property owner asked me, in writing, to remove the unauthorized sign and replace it with an opposing political sign I had. As requested by the property owner, I placed the authorized sign at 10:33 a.m. and removed the unauthorized sign. As Mrs. Olson was not present at the time, I explained these actions to a lady who was seated nearby with her husband's campaign sign. I asked that she inform Ms. Olson of what I was doing and why and where she could retrieve her sign. I then promptly took the unauthorized sign to Town Hall, Code Enforcement, where Ms. Olson could retrieve her sign. The video shows at 12:53 p.m. that same day, the authorized sign that I placed was removed from the owner's property, but not by the property owner, and that was placed in the ground on mud property. Yet another unauthorized sign was then put in its place on the property owner's yard, again without the property owner's permission. Video clearly shows the person responsible for this unauthorized activity. All of this is confirmed by video records that I have obtained through open records requests. And that was the end of my involvement, so I thought. In a police report filed on August 3, 2022, Mrs. Olson accused me of stealing her sign. The Trophy Club and Police Department had already investigated this matter, confirmed that my actions were proper, and I was cleared of any wrongdoing. Mrs. Olson again repeated these false allegations in the emails on 10/14/22 and to Town Council on February 9, 2023, specifically naming me. These documents were also received through open records requests. These are the reasons for the cease and desist letter. Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone else signed up to speak this evening?
Next, we have public hearing.
We have Community Development Director Matt Cox to review a request for a special use permit for Rosati's Pizza Restaurant. Mr. Cox.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
That's right.
That's why we moved the meeting up to 5 o'clock to allow our town staff and our council members to enjoy Valentine's Day with their families. So that's the reason for the early meeting.
So this evening I have, it's another SUP for PD 30. Rosati's Restaurant, they're requesting a SUP for alcohol beverage sales on premise in conjunction with restaurant use. They have applied with TABC for the mixed beverage restaurant permit and for late hours. Rosati's Restaurant, they do meet all the distance requirements for churches and schools and for hospitals. The existing parking spaces are adequate. They meet the required parking. And Chief Police and Town Attorney have reviewed. No objection. On the 5th of January, P&Z unanimously recommended approval. Staff concurs and recommends approval as well. Any questions? I did make it brief, so if you have any additional questions.
You must have plans tonight. Okay, you want to open that for me at this? Okay, I'll open the public hearing at 5:41 p.m. Do we have anyone signed up to speak for the public hearing for this item? Okay. The public hearing is now closed at 5:42 p.m. Good job. And do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the SUP special use permit made by Rosati's Pizza Restaurant for alcoholic beverages sales for on-premises consumption in conjunction with a restaurant use located at 2210 East Highway 114, number 250. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem.
Dennis.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dennis.
Well, you got to get a motion and a second before.
Yeah.
No, I understand. No,
So we have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Second by Councilman Beach.
and we're going to,
Any discussion, and now Dennis.
got it,
There you go.
okay. Matt, the, you and I have already talked about this, so you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
All right, the page 19 of the agenda has the ordinance 2023-02 P&Z, and that only locates us on Lot 1, Block A. I object. The applicant is going to be in Suite 250. So I would like it to be known, to add to the second paragraph after the word addition, and also known as 2210 State Highway 114, Suite 250, Trophy Club, Texas. That means previously we've had conversations where once somebody gets a special use permit, they change locations and they move around in that PD 30 area. And I objected then, and I object today to the ability. And this way we know that we're approving it for a specific, which is where the applicant is going. Suite 250. Thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor? And we have two opposed, 5-2, and two opposed, okay. 5-2, the motion passes. Thank you, Matt.
Our next item is the consent agenda.
Mayor, before we move on to the consent agenda, the staff would like to pull items 13 and 14 from the consent agenda for further discussion.
13, 14?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll make a motion to consent agenda items 8 through 12, 15, 16, and 17.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Flynn. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously with items 13 and 14 pulled.
Next is individual items on our agenda.
Okay, first we'll address items 13 and 14 that were just pulled from the consent agenda. Again, Community Development Director Matt Cox will give us further information on the two developer agreements between the Town of Trophy Club and Trophy Club Estates regarding Falcon Estates and Aspen Estates. Mr. Cox.
Okay, Mayor and Council, on the developer agreements, we added a clause. It's on the last page, number 7. We've got it. See if I can move it up there. Am I taking over? Right here. Here we go. In the original packet that you received, the developer agreement everything's the exact same except for we did add this number 7, the null and void. This agreement will be null and void if Trophy Club Municipal Utility District does not approve the interlocal agreement with Town of Trophy Club that will provide services to the area which is the subject of this agreement. Yeah, they're at the board meeting. Yeah, sure. Okay.
So, Mayor and Council, good evening. The MUD Board does not meet until tomorrow night, so this item is going before the MUD Board in their executive session tomorrow to be discussed. And we were just worried that if there was a problem with the ILA for services between the MUD Board and the town, that giving a developer's agreement to the developer prior to having the ILA in place that would actually extend the service for water and wastewater would be a misstep on our part. So we elected to add this clause to the end of both 13 and 14. So you'll see that 14 has the exact same language added on number 7, and that's the only change for both items. Any questions?
Seems
pretty straightforward. Any questions? Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the developers agreement between the Town of Trophy Club and Trophy Club Estates Development, LP, for the Falcon Estates 7H, adding the following in Section 7 to read, "This agreement will be null and void if the Trophy Club Municipal Utility District does not approve the interlocal agreement with the Town of Trophy Club that will provide services to the area which is the subject of this agreement."
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Beach. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously. Okay.
Do you want to do again with 14 or just
On
read
to
the...
It's the exact same language, exact same change. The only difference will be the name of the development.
Okay, do I have a motion for 14?
I make a motion to approve the development agreement between the Town of Trophy Club and Trophy Club Estates Development, LP, for the Aspen Estates 8H, adding the following in Section 7 to read, "This agreement will be null and void if the Trophy Club Municipal Utility District does not approve the interlocal agreement between the Town of Trophy Club that will provide services to the area which is the subject of this agreement."
I'll second again.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Beach. Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Sheridan.
I've had significant discussions with staff, and I appreciate their cooperation, and Matt has done a very good job of researching. There is potential drainage issues with this track, and Matt's aware of my issues with our citizens who back up to it, and also an open drain, and that's in one of our current citizens' backyards. And he has done some research into it, and it is engineeringly correct. Am I correct in saying that? So therefore, I will vote yes, but at the same time, I have serious reservations on the drainage of this tract. Thank you.
Do you want to address that? Good.
Yes, ma'am. So we did look at the topography of the drainage. Matt did an outstanding job and contacted our engineering firm, who agreed that the the drainage is adequate for the lot as designed. There is an open drain, which is kind of a flat box that's covered in one of the residents' backyard. There is a little bit of lot-to-lot drainage that goes across the back. The primary drainage goes to the street, but there is a portion of the drainage that goes back to this low area in this neighborhood, which is both the corner lot from, Matt, you can probably tell better, the corner lot on the existing well site that's being developed and the low spot in the existing neighborhood. They kind of back up there together in that same little corner, and that open drain there at the bottom goes out to, what street is that, Matt? Stratfield. Thank you, sir. So it goes out to Stratfield. That is the closest way for that drain to run. It would have to run across the entire well site in order to get out to Trophy Club Drive. So it's only 100 feet out to Stratfield, or a little over 100 feet. So that's why that drain was put in that way. And the proper easements are in place and currently for the drainage.
Thank you, Dennis, for looking into that.
Alicia,
Yes.
a comment, please. I walked by both sites knowing that this issue, we're going to be talking about it tonight. And I saw that too. The one I saw, and maybe you can help me, Matt, if you're looking at the lot, not the flat open lot, in the very far left back corner is where I saw what I think is what we're talking about.
Yes, that will be Lot 5 of the new development.
Okay.
And
So-
that backs up to, so the neighbor is Lot 36, existing. And he's got drainage that actually does utilize that tabletop. But it does sit in the neighbor's yard on the backside.
So it doesn't look like it, but that's the neighbor's yard there?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
So there is an easement from Strathfield through that, the side yard of the neighbor's yard, and that does encompass that tabletop. So after talking to our engineers, also Beck's engineers, that area utilizes that for not so much just a normal rain, but a very, very heavy rain on your 25, 50, and 100-year floods. That would actually help numerous lots in that area.
Disperse the water. And
Yes, sir. Just the topography, that is just a low spot in that entire block.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Oldham?
Yes, thank you. I also was aware of this flowage from the to-be-constructed Lot 5. My concern is, even though you've been able to confirm that when the flowage goes on to the adjoining property owner's easement, that we do have capacity to handle that flow. But during the construction, I'm a little bit worried about, since there'll be no wall there, about debris and that sort of thing plugging that inlet. Our developers' agreements only talk about developer and contractor responsible for all liability for drainage to adjacent and downstream property, but only the extent directly caused by the design and construction of the public improvements. So this really is contemplating just public improvement drainage issues. It doesn't go into any type of liability on an easement on an abutting property outside of the development.
So that would fall under our SWIP, and we and TMP will be doing the on-site construction inspection.
So you will be making sure that
Yes, ma'am.
in that it's properly netted and there won't be any problems with that for the
Yes.
existing homeowner.
Yes, in fact, I think there's already a few little items in that tabletop area that needs to be cleaned out as well. We have minimum of 4 in town, and our streets guys periodically go and check those.
Well, it's not like we don't have lot-to-lot drainage issues in town.
Right.
Yeah. No.
And touching on what you did mention on the lot-to-lot, the rest of this new development will be flowing from back to front.
I saw
So-
the flowage graphs.
So it will actually have limited flow now going to that tabletop as opposed to the entire development. We're only going to have about a third of Lot 5 going into it. 36 will still continue, and then the neighbors behind.
It's just highly unusual to see a construction graph showing flowage onto an existing lot in a developed neighborhood rather than out to public improvements. So I just want to caution you on making sure that there's no problem with that for those neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, do I have a motion?
I thought I made a motion.
We already did that one. Oh, that's right. That was 15. Okay, you're up.
Next, we will move to item 18.
We approved?
We got to vote.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go.
You have a motion and
We just didn't do the vote yet.
Yeah.
So long. Okay, I'll out of order. All right, with a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by, who seconded? Councilman Beach? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously. And that was 14.
You were on 18 now.
And now we're on 18. Now you're up.
Next, we move to item 18 on the
Okay, item 18 is regarding the interlocal agreement with the Trophy Club Municipal Utility District Number 1 to provide water and wastewater services to the town. Town Manager Carroll will provide details, including the agreement.
Thank you, mayors and council members. So the item before you here, number 18, is that amendment to the water service agreement with the MUD that we talked about for 13 and 14. So our current agreement with the MUD included areas within what we call the PID. So it's those lots that are outside the MUD and within the PID, but it did not include the areas in town that were not in the PID or in the MUD. So this agreement, the agreement that you have before you actually incorporates all land that is outside of the MUD but within town boundaries. That was the main purpose of this agreement. There were some changes that were given to us today from the MUD, and you'll see those at the dais. I emailed those to you as well, and I've got copies at the back of the room for anyone who is interested in seeing them. Spoke with both David Dodd and our water attorney, and everyone thinks that the additions are pretty benign. One actually it does us a favor here, and it says that we're meeting some standards that are in the previous contract, section 5.2, and that really outlines the standard at which they're going to provide the service, which we thought was important. The rest of the changes really just say that the MUD has their own option to accept or deny each project as they're presented, and that's really the way that our process already works. So we don't have an issue with that change either. So currently, if we were to get a new development, you're not going to get a developer's agreement until the civils are approved, and those civils go to the MUD just like they go to our engineering firm. So until they're approved by the MUD, we wouldn't have a developer's agreement in place. And to get a developer's agreement, you have to be able to show that you can get water and sewer to your site. So those are the main changes that were made within the agreement, and it sits before you for a vote.
So, well, I'll go ahead and.
Well, let's get a motion first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the amendment to the Water and Wastewater Services ILA between the Town of Trophy Club and the Trophy Club Municipal Utility District Number 1 as presented at the dais for changes to items 2 and 3.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont, a second by Councilman Monger. And any discussion? Mr. Flynn.
So I just want to make sure, Wade, I'm grasping the changes. So the changes that were made, the changes that you just covered and we're reading, were presented by the MUD to us.
That's correct.
And we're approving it. But I want to make sure it's not going back to the MUD, right? These are their changes.
These are their changes. Okay. That's correct. The final changes were their changes. Okay. The MUD and we have gone back several times back and forth working on the document.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Yes. So this is going to be voted on by the MUD tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yes, sir.
As well, okay.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously. You're busy tonight, Mr. Cox.
19. Move it along.
You're going to talk to us about some signage for Cook Children's.
Believe it or not, it is PD 30 again. Legacy signs on behalf of Cook's Children. They're requesting a meritorious exception. It's a new branding logo, 75 different locations. And they did mention to me that 74 of them have been approved, so.
No pressure.
Pressure's
Yeah,
on.
Way to tee it up there.
Yeah.
No pressure.
For the children.
Okay, PD 30, the signs can only be 2.5 feet tall by 40 feet long, which is 100 square feet. This particular sign total is about 79.5 square feet. I've got lots of details if you want. Trying to be brief here. The town attorney has reviewed and has no objection. P&Z Commission on the 7th, last week, almost this exact time. They unanimously also recommended approval 4-0. And this request, in keeping with other meritorious exceptions that have been approved with PD 30, staff is requesting approval.
Make a motion to approve the Cook's Children's Sign meritorious exception generally located at the northeast corner of Highway 114 and Trophy Club Drive, addressed as 2300 East Highway 114, Suite 300, as corrected to say Cook's Children in the packet.
I failed something. Let me start over. No, not really. In the original packet, so to be transparent, now y'all are going to see that our tricks of the trade on copying and pasting. You also get to see that we use Social Oak as our template. Word did not save it correctly, and it ended up in your packet, so I apologize. So you'll see Social Oak 2 times. That needs to be interchanged out to Cook's Children. All the numbers are exactly the same, and but again, I do apologize on my staff report.
And it's noted in the motion.
Yes.
And Greg, appreciate you giving the address and the suite number on this one.
Okay. Well, it wasn't on the other one.
For the SCP. Okay, so did you finish making your motion?
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Lamont and a second by Councilman Beach. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And it passes unanimously.
Cool, now I have our manager, Wade Carroll, with the last item. This is our future agenda item.
Mayor DeSico, I'm not sure I like the way you said last item. Do you not want to see me again?
You see the smile on her face, Wade? Said that. She lit up.
I'm just teasing you. So if you're looking at the future agenda items, we did have several changes that are noted in your packet. On number 1, the Half and Associates, we now have 4 renderings from an artist on the statue for the teenagers. We're going to get copies of that to you guys out, and we're still working on getting the final. Once we choose the drawings for the teenagers, that'll be, I believe that's at, where was that? Trophy Lake. That's at the Trophy Lake intersection. Once we get those inserted into the drawings for each intersection, then those will come before the Council Arts Subcommittee for approval, and then to this body after that. The strategic plan for the town, Tamara has been Tamara Smith has been an outstanding addition to our team. She's working hard on developing a project outline and a project timeline for us to have our strategic plan finished. So we're working through that currently. During our director's retreat, we'll be working hard towards moving this ball a lot further down the field, but Tamara's doing an outstanding job of already putting some things in place, making sure that those foundational pillars, that we have adequate citizen input, and we define some measures to ensure that we're stepping in the right direction and the direction that council wishes to see us go. The other major change is the flashing lights to the existing roundabout at the crosswalk that was asked for by Mr. Beach. So we're gathering all the documentation from the original roundabout design through the grapevine and talking to some folks that have some history around here. It looks like there was quite a bit of signage in the original design package that was removed. Some of this may make us have to maneuver where those crosswalks will be, but we're going to get with Tignan and Perkins, who did the design. We're going to make sure that the signs are correct for the crosswalk and the crosswalks are in the correct place to ensure the safety of our citizens there, as recommended by Mr. Beach. So that's where we are today, and if anyone has anything else to add, we will surely add that to the future agenda items to be spoken of.
Councilman Sheridan?
Yeah. I know that I need a second council person to do this, but I'd like to add something to your future agenda. We need immediately to adjust the subdivision standards requiring lot drainage to public improvements, prohibiting residential lot to residential lot drainage, prohibiting open storm inlets on a residential lot, particularly in the backyard, allow for special exceptions by P&Z and council where engineering presents a significant critical need, and allow for grandfather of the existing approved drainage plans. And if I have a second, I'd like to add that for as quick as it could be done. Thank you.
Okay.
I second.
Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you. We had an item added by Councilman Sheridan and a second by Councilman Polk.
Anything else anyone would like to add or have us take a deeper dive into? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ed. It's now time for our executive session pursuant to the following designated section of the Texas Governmental Code and Appendix Chapter 551. The Town Council will recess into executive session to discuss the following. A, Section 551.071, attorney-client privilege.
This time now is 6:06, and council will recess into executive session.
Great job.
I thought it was today.
Is that in the consent agenda?
Later.
You're just a mess.
If only you knew the truth.
All right, Carl, do you know what you're saying?
I think so.
The time is now 7:46, and we are reconvening back into regular session. Councilman Monger?
Council directs the town attorney to proceed as directed by council during executive session.
Anyone else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. We are adjourned, and happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Love you, Louis.
Get on early. Wow. So you-